Hey everybody, good evening. I missed yesterday. I had to work a really long day to cover something that was going on at one of my sites. But I'm back, and today we are going to continue on with that hillside project we did. We did the two side hills, the ones that have like the steps going up. And today we're going to make a cave entrance that can go between them. So let's get working on that, because I'm pretty tired. It was a long day today too. I'm getting kind of old and kind of whiny. So what we want to do, I got the glue gun heating up, yeah, is we want to rough up this so it holds glue. And then we want to get some glue on here. What the heck? There we go. That's way more glue than I wanted, but it's glue. All right. So let's cut around here. There's our base. Now I've got a couple pieces of styrofoam here that we can use to make our cave thing. And then we're just gonna get it. Oh, I messed up. That's okay. Let that dry. Okay, so we're going to peel that off. So let me grab another CD real quick, just to measure what we want to do. All right, so we're just going to get 2 dabs of glue to hold this in place while we figure this out. Turn our cutter on. You can use a knife for this if you want. I'm going to use the cutter because I'm on a time budget here. See what I did there is I just kind of went along the edge of the CD. Okay. And you can save these pieces. I have a plastic bin over here full of cardboard or styrofoam cutoffs that I can use in a pinch to. So then we I'm going to pull this back off of here, and we want to kind of get a cave entrance of sorts going. Something like that. And then we kind of want to clean the front down a little bit. I'm just going to do that with a little jaggediness. Just cleaning it out. Get it looking a little bit like Now you're probably thinking, man, that's some nasty styrofoam. Well, it was throwaway from one of the sites I work at. They insulated a barn and they left this stuff sitting outside for a long time, and they were going to throw it away. And I thought to myself, hey self, could you use that for something? And the correct answer was, yes, I could. I hate to see anything go to waste. All right. So now we're going to take this and throw it in our bin. And let's get this back and let's get that styrofoam or that glue we put on there off. And then when you put that between those cliffs, you're going to have a little cave set up. So we want to clean up any of the edges we have here from the seam. And you can just do that by dragging crap on there. Your glue gun. My glue gun's really hot. I left it on for like 3 days. probably gonna, same thing that happened to my other one. It's probably gonna die. That's how it begins. A little bit of carelessness. At least I didn't have a house fire. I mean, that's a blessing. In 2000 and... it was before 9/11. I don't know, one year when I was in my 20s, when I was married to my first wife, we had lost everything we had in a house fire. It was terrible. And I've been pretty careful since then. But with the glue guns, the house fire was none of our fault, by the way. We had a pet rabbit, and he didn't like being in a cage, so my ex-wife was going somewhere with my older sons who are adults now. And she decided to put him in the kitchen so he could run loose. He was a pretty good boy. He was a meat eater, but as far as rabbits go, he was nice. And he apparently wasn't happy in the kitchen and forced his way behind the oven and started chewing on electric cables, and it caught my house on fire. So we lost everything as a couple in our young 20s and had to start over. It was pretty scary. We didn't know anything about insurance and stuff like that. Thank God we lived on base, and the Army had some kind of thing to cover you if something like that happened. They had some kind of, I don't know what it was. They had insurance of some sort, I guess, or they just did whatever. And they gave us some money, since that when their fire inspectors came, they couldn't find any signs that an animal had done it. But I was with them when they did the inspection, and I'm sure they noticed it, and they were just like, oh, well, this looks natural. I guess you're going to get, compensated, and I did. And we didn't want to lie, but we didn't want to. The guy pretty much told us, hey, you got to, just act like this is a freak accident. You can't, let them know your rabbit did this, or you're not going to get anything. So we were scared, and we didn't know what to do, and we lied. And that's all right. You learn as you go. We weren't perfect then, and we're not perfect now. I still make mistakes all the time. I don't really lie as much, but I do make mistakes and make bad choices here and there. Now this foam is pretty beat up, and it's a little affected by the weather, I would say. So it took that texture super easy. I did not push hard to do that. Oh, some of this glue isn't dry all the way yet. All right. I don't think we need a whole lot of texture other than that. Maybe a couple little spots that might help, but I think just leaving it kind of how it is will help, or will look okay. We don't have any factory edge exposed, so we'll assume this curved part outward is the front of our cave. I'm going to actually open that up a little more, I think. I don't know. We'll see. The illusion of size is more important than the actual size, because you don't need to be able to slide a miniature through here. You just need to be able to give the impression that the miniature came out of here, and you can just do that. This is facing away from you by setting it in front, So the back of this really doesn't matter as much as the front, but it all kind of matters. You don't want to. You want to be able to use it both ways, I suppose. Maybe you can use this side as the exit of a cave. Maybe there's a fight where you're being ambushed on your way out or something. I don't know. It's just ideas. All right, so let's get some rocks and stuff on here and kind of see how ultimately this is going to look. So let's get a little bit of glue. And if you watch the other video, you'll know what I'm doing here. I am just going to shove this into the foam and try to get some coverage around it, so it kind of the glue kind of goes on the outside and holds it in place until we come back with the Mod Podge and stuff. Then on the inside, since I said we could use this as an exit to a cave or something, oops, we can do a little bit more than that. We can get a couple more rocks going back here. Make sure you push those in with a little bit of force too. Whoever gave me this bag of rocks that turned into this Tupperware rocks, thank you very much. I can't remember who it was. It was long ago. But if you're watching this, I have used this to the point where there's almost about a fourth of what there was. It's been an amazing asset in my crafting, and I've used it so much, especially on custom-made miniatures and stuff. It's been an enormous part of my gig. So whoever that was, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Anybody that gives me anything, I really appreciate it, because I'm very blessed. I've met a lot of cool people and made a lot of cool friends over the years. In all fairness, a lot of it's from D&D, but some of it's from other stuff too. And I just want to, as a matter of fact, speaking of friends, I have a friend that I play video games with who just bought me a real cool game recently. I've been playing with him. It's a lot of fun. And I'm very appreciative of stuff like that, because no one has to buy me anything. And when people do, I really always just feel super blessed, truth be told. All right, so let's get some smaller rocks. And let's get our super glue. Actually, we need to do our, probably need to do our ground stuff first. Our dirt and stuff. So, granular sand from the beach or somewhere is ideal. You can buy expensive craft sand or play sand or whatever you want, but I like to use the cheap EO stuff because I am on, well, I'm kind of lying. I'm not on a budget per se, but I'm cheap. All right. Oh, there goes people letting off fireworks. I'm not an enormous fan of fireworks personally, but I don't mind when people do it because they need to have fun, and little kids love fireworks, and young men and young women alike like to see firework. I don't know, man. Just ignore me. I'm just jabbing. Just jibber jabbing. You want to try to get as much coverage as you can. I'm using clear glue, so I can't really see everywhere, so I might miss spots. That's okay. You know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, let's set that aside. And we'll soon see where I missed. It looks like we got enough of it to call it a win. So let's get some glue on top here. And I'm going to switch to a cheap brush because I don't want to go beyond the edges too much. Okay. So this is a cheap brush that you can wash out or to throw away. I'll wash it out, but you can totally toss this if you wanted to. These brushes are like a bazillion for $1 or something. I can't remember where I got these, but I had like a whole bunch of these. They were all yellow, which is not one of my favorite colors, but I mean, if I need to use this on super glue or something where I am going to be throwing it away, I don't want it to be some color I don't want to lose. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, put that in my paint cup, water cup. You know, I don't like this little piece here. I'm just going to cut it right off. There we go. Now I like it. All right, so this is what we came up with. We covered these seams up with hot glue. And we have this CD base. This is the inside of our cave, so it has some more rocks. And this is the outside of our cave. It has less rocks. I would like to put a couple small rocks on here before we call this a win. So let me put this away. And grab my that. Pardon me. So I just want to get a couple small rocks on here to add some I don't know, stuff. Add a look. A look I'm going for, dudes and dudettes. Maybe 3 on this side, because this big rock's a little smaller. I don't know which ones I want to use exactly. There we go, something like that. Alright, and then we're going to do a couple on the back side when we're done. You don't want to use too much glue. I'm always talking about using glue, but you won't want this to touch your styrofoam, because I think it'll melt it. I don't know that, but I think it will. Something to poke that with. Just to break that surface tension. There we go. Okay. Let's turn it around. Get a couple on the back. Now this is the part, like I said, that's more like inside the cave. So I want to use, this is like, if we were playing this as the exit to a cave, for like adventure that's going on in the cave, and this is the way out. Maybe there's an ambush here. There's going to be a fight. So I kind of want to have a little more stones in here just to give it a better look. All right, that looks like it'll hold. All right, so let me get a little bit on here, just because I want to make sure these are sturdy. All right, so if you don't have this kind of foam, you can literally build a shape like this with anything: cardboard, paper mache, clay, whatever you have. It doesn't matter. It's not about perfection or making one just like mine. It's about coming up with some cool ideas that you can use to make things that you want to make for your table. I have this foam. It was free. I know not everybody has it. I bought it before. I promise you that. It's just that I have so much of this for free. And it's all gross and stuff. It's been outside, but it's free. And I love that. So you could make this shape with cardboard. You could take cardboard and build your frame, and you could twist it back and forth and wrinkle it up and get your shapes like this. Like, and you can paint it with glue and sand and give it more rock texture. There's a million ideas of what you could do that don't involve this. I don't want you to feel like locked in because I spent a little bit of time with foam. And that foam cutter I have, dude, I don't like use, well, that's a cheap foam cutter, okay? It was cheap. And if you can't afford a foam cutter, that's okay. You can't afford a knife. These are 2 for $1. If you go to Dollar Tree, I think you can get a 3-pack for $1.25. So it's, this is not fancy stuff. It might look a little bit so, but it's not. If you get dollar store foam, you can wrap it around anything and texture it with tin foil, or cut it a little bit if you wanted to get some texture to it. So we're not trying to do anything too fancy here. I just want to show you guys, my concept for this. And it looks, decent because it's going to fit between those 2 hills. And when you see it in a thumbnail, it probably will be between those 2 hills, because I'm kind of going with this whole like modular kind of setup deal. So my name's Doom. I'm from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, the YouTube channel. I talk about role-playing games and tabletop games and stuff, and war games a little bit. I make terrain. You could use this for Warhammer. You could use this for D&D, whatever you'd want. I'm one half of the team that powers, I say powers as a joke. I'm one half of the guys that owns DungeonSwag.com. There's 2 of us. We're regular guys. We started the business online during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, and we never really developed a lot, but we decided we really want to push this because I came from a place of really poor, like, didn't have money for anything. And I made miniatures out of whatever I could, HeroClix or whatever I had. And you can do that, and that's okay. But I wanted, like, really high-quality miniatures. I had some of the Lord of the Rings stuff that Games Workshop had made, and I had a miniature from DarkSwordMiniatures.com. And I wanted really nice minis, and I didn't have them. And so we came up with this model to where we can get free miniatures while we sell them dirt cheap to everybody else. And it was through 3D printing. And our resin is amazing. I'm going to be doing a lot of painting videos of our stuff, more than I already have. Asco sent me an entire box of miniatures to paint. And our resin's high quality. It's flexible. It doesn't snap. You don't have to be careful with it. You can drop it and it doesn't shatter. And we just wanted people to have nice, good miniatures. And we accomplished it. And we want to share it with you. So check out our website and check out our Discord. Wednesday night, I plan on doing a live paint on here. On my Discord, and anybody who wants to join is welcome to. So if you look in the description of the video, it'll be there. This is part 1. I'm going to paint this in some glue, Mod Podge, black and brown paint mixed, and let it dry and come back and do a part 2. So thank you for watching, and have a great night.